If you have locks and love to travel, then you already know how important it is to make sure that your hair stays healthy, clean, and thriving throughout your trip. So whenever I go on any trip, these are the non-negotiable items that I bring with me for lock care on the go. Hey guys, welcome back to the Dreadlock Culture channel. My name is Nadia, and in today's video, we're talking about all the lock care essentials that I can't travel without. So let's get into it. I will preface this by saying that whenever I go on a road trip, there are certain items I will take with me that I will never travel with if I go on an airplane or when I go overseas. We're going to get into those details. But when I'm on a road trip, I will always travel with this plastic caddy, and it helps to keep all my toiletries in place and standing so that I don't risk any spillage and things like that. So we're going to get into it all, but I think that that's an important detail, and you'll see why. So the first item that is an absolute must for me is my essential oils spray, my moisturizer. And when I travel, I don't typically have it full. Sometimes if I am going on a road trip, I will take this one because it's bigger and it fits in my caddy perfectly fine. And I can fill it up. That's usually not a problem, but it's something that I can fill on the go. And so on the case of flying overseas, I will actually take a very small version of this, and I will take it empty. And so when I get to my destination, then that's when I'll fill it up with water and I'll put the essential oils. Which brings me to my next product, which is an essential oil bottle. And usually it's a very small one because I don't put a ton of essential oils in my spray anyway. But whenever I'm traveling, I try to keep it as minimal as possible. So I'll only either take like 1 or 2 bottles. If I'm road tripping, probably there's 2. If I'm going on an airplane, it'll probably just be 1. And they're fairly small because again, you just don't need a lot. The next thing is my sleeping cap. And because I wash my locks once a week, whenever I wash them, I switch to a new cap just so that my hair is clean and my cap is clean. And then it'll give me time to wash the other one while I'm using this one. So I recommend 2. Also, if you don't want to take a sleeping cap, you can take a silk pillowcase and then just use that and cover wherever you're going. You can cover the pillows with that one. Next are my scalp oils. Usually I will only take a small bottle like this, and it's a dropper bottle, so it's perfect because then you can measure how much you use. And it's extremely convenient. It doesn't spill. It's a really good bottle. But this is an optional item, so it depends. I don't always take it, but say that I'm going on a trip for a few weeks or maybe even months at a time, then it is important that I take it. But if it's only maybe a weekend trip or maybe up to a week, I probably won't. So personally, it depends on how long my trip is. Next is shampoo. Whenever I go on a road trip, I typically take the liquid version as well as an extra empty bottle so that I can dilute this one and then use the diluted version. Whenever I go on an airplane, on the other hand, I'll take the shampoo bar. And the reason I do this is obviously because I don't want it to spill in my luggage and because the liquid version is a whole lot heavier. So depending on how long I'm going on the trip, I'll take several shampoo bars with me if I feel like I'm going to need, for the length of time that I'm going. Then, of course, I take a microfiber towel to dry my locks after I wash them. And I will link the one that I use in the description. It is the best. It's lint-free, and I love it for my locks. It absorbs a lot of water, and it's just a very lightweight towel that will be amazing for your locks. Trust me. I will also always take a headband and a scarf, like a lightweight scarf like this one, that doesn't leave lint, and then it's awesome for styling my locks on certain occasions and also for preventing sunburns on your scalp. And then if you're going to be like in an environment where maybe it's very dusty or just a little questionable, then this also will help to protect your locks to keep them clean a little bit longer. In the past, I used to always travel with hair ties. These are the ones I use, and they're pretty big. I mean, this one's kind of been outstretched a little, and this is a newer one, but either way, they're big and they're good enough to hold all my locks. I don't use them as often anymore just because my locks are so long that I don't really need a hair tie to keep them together. But especially in the earlier stages of my lock journey, these were definitely essential. Next is my crochet hook. I don't use it all the time, but it does come in handy if I want to tuck in some loose hairs, or maybe there's a section that's very frizzy and I have some downtime, then I'll just, spend that time tucking in all those loose hairs into my locks. I highly recommend that if you are going overseas, that you do not take it in your carry-on luggage, because every single time that I've forgotten that it was in my carry-on luggage, the security cameras, when you pass it through the security, they'll detect it and they'll dig through my luggage to find it. And typically I'll just point it out and say it's my crochet hook. I'll explain what it's for. But a couple of times it's gotten taken away. So then, you can just risk it being taken from you and not having it for your trip. And then typically when I'm overseas, that's not a priority for me to go finding one, but it does come in handy sometimes. So it's just, if you don't want it taken away, then put it in your luggage that you check into the airplane. I also love to travel with powdered apple cider vinegar. I found that this is extremely convenient and it works just as well as the liquid version. I highly recommend it personally, just because there's moments when I'm traveling and maybe, I have an itchy scalp, or I just want to do like a little bit of a deeper cleanse on my locks. And traveling with apple cider vinegar, anywhere you go, it's kind of just a hassle if it's a liquid, but also if you're overseas, it might be difficult to find. So this is, great because you don't risk it spilling, and you just put a couple of teaspoons, dilute it with some water wherever you are using that water. And yeah, it works just the same. Occasionally, I will take my swimming cap, and this is either when I know I'm going to be going into chlorinated pools, or when I'm going camping and I don't want my hair to get smoky from a bonfire. I've used them in both occasions and it works really well. The swimming cap I got it on Amazon. It's, I don't know, extra or extra large, I'm not sure, but it fits all my locks. It's pretty massive, a little bit difficult to get on, but once it's on, it works wonders. So highly recommend if you're either going to be swimming a lot, or if you're going to be enjoying campfires or being outdoors and you don't want to get your hair smoky. And last but not least, on occasion, I will take a small hair dryer that I can use if I'm going somewhere that the climate is very humid. So if I'm washing my hair and I kind of think that maybe because of that climate, it's going to take forever to dry, then this is going with me for sure. If it's somewhere overseas, then I recommend that you make sure you take an adapter for the hairdryer, because it might not work with the same plug that you have on yours. But this is an optional item, and it can come in handy for sure. So those are all of my essential items. If there's one that you take with you on your trips and I didn't talk about it, then please let me know which one it is in the comments below. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more lock content in the future, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post a video. I post videos weekly, so I will see you in the next one. And until then, keep rocking your locks. Bye.